Hi. I wanted to do a video tonight about something that I've really been thinking about a lot, and that seems to come up for so many people. Just remember, like, when I do these videos, when I do posts, it's never about anybody in particular. But I try to choose topics that I see recurring over and over and over again. And one of the big ones that I see is people coming to me with depression or anxiety or, not feeling good. And I start getting into it a little bit more with them. And I find out that they're really overworking themselves. And I think that this is a common theme in our society today, is this overwork and putting yourself last, putting the job first. And I want you to realize that when I say this, I totally understand. Like, sometimes you got to put in like some extra hours at the job and you have to go above and beyond. And I totally get that. But when I see people coming to me or talking to me and are putting in 40 plus hours a week, 50 hours, 60 hours, 60 plus hours a week, when they're having to work out of town and they really don't want to, when they might not get lunch breaks, when they don't know their schedule on time. It's honestly ridiculous. Honestly ridiculous. I had a job one time. I won't say who, but they know who they are. And I was scheduled to work. I was scheduled to work in the morning, and I had gotten off that night. It was like, I think it was like 10 or 11 o'clock. I got off that night. I was scheduled to come in early in the morning, I think like 8 or something. And I was totally okay. Hey, more hours. I want to make some money. Totally okay. So I got off really late at night, went home, got some sleep, got up, came in early that morning, and my schedule was changed. And apparently it was changed between the time I went to go home, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and 8 a.m. in the morning. Apparently that was a common practice for this company to do, was to change the schedules about midnight. And I did not know. And so I was there at 8 a.m. for no reason. I could have stayed home. I could have stayed sleeping. I could have done anything else with my life besides come to work. And I was scheduled. They had changed it to me work in the afternoon. And instead of them telling me, they just put it on a piece of paper and were just expecting me to be okay with that. And thing is, when we have these companies, I think a lot of companies just think about themselves and they don't think about the employees at all. And I don't think that that's fair. I don't think that that's fair for anyone. I think that our economy, our whole society is changing, and bosses have to be responsive to that. When I first started in the field, it was a very bad recession. It was a terrible economy. And I remember, like, I applied to Lowe's. I had a degree and I worked at Lowe's one time, you know, with a psychology degree. That was not the company I was talking about before. But it was like taking any job you can. And now in today's market, we have so many job opportunities. I think that's going to really separate companies who make it versus companies who don't. Because the companies who do make it are the ones who are going to be able to keep the employees. You're not going to be able to get customers if you don't have employees serving them. You're not going to be able to keep people coming through the door if you're offering like a substandard product, if your employees are switching out all the time, if they're calling in sick, if they're not happy. So really, I think the key to a lot of bosses, a lot of business owners really succeeding in today's field is making a company that employees want to be at. and be happy with and stay long term. And that being said, I think that employees need to be leaving jobs that are not giving them what they need. If you're working 40, 50, 60, if you're working all these hours with no appreciation, no time off, no understanding, what's the point of that? If you don't have time to take care of yourself, if you come to me and you're like, Kelly, I have anxiety, I have depression, I'm not sleeping well, I'm gaining weight, I don't know why, and you're telling me you don't have time to go to the gym, you only have scheduled 5 hours of sleep at night, and you haven't been to the doctor in a couple of years, I mean, we really need to think about that. That being said, I also know a lot of people who they have time off. Their companies give them plenty of opportunities to take time off and they don't take it. And some of these companies have this culture where, well, we'll give you time off, but it's really discouraged. And so, well, you can take time off only if you do this, this, and this. You can take time off only if you're caught up, but then you're never caught up with work, and so you can never take time off. Or you can take time off, just not this day, this day, this day, or this day. And when you're trying to make that doctor's appointment, sometimes like you just got to take whatever they can give you. And so it's not, sometimes the company cultures are not set up to actually support employees at all. And how is that fair to anyone? Why is an employee going to want to stay at a company that isn't even supporting their physical, mental health? If they can't even have a decent lunch break, why are they wanting to stay? And how can a business stay in business if its employees are unhappy and always leaving? We have to really think on a larger scale sometimes with this stuff. Anyway, that's what I have to say. For more info or questions, please like and subscribe to this. It's my pleasure to help however I can. Take care and good night.